Hey guys, welcome to the Bangers Only podcast. This is Clarke. You can check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as always, and I hope you guys enjoy this week's episode.
Welcome back.
Hello, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It's been a while since we've caught up and talked about music. I mean, we've been texting about this, but you know,
Just a little bit.
yeah. I know you're excited.
I am.
I know you're very excited because I asked you. I was like, "Who do you want to listen to this week?" And you were like, "Bam, I know who I want to talk about." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I didn't know what direction we wanted to take this week, but I mean, I think I'm kind of happy with what we listened to and what we're about to talk about today.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty exhausted right now.
Oh yeah.
Because we got a puppy on Saturday of last week.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a lot of work. So just warning, if you hear a bunch of yipping, he's currently in the kitchen with the baby gate because we're trying to keep him in that area for right now. And then I have to let him out after this, and then we'll put him in his crate. So long night ahead, and haven't gotten much sleep lately.
Yeah. I feel like having a puppy is like almost like having like a newborn baby, you know? But like not as hard because it's like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I do. Well, should we just jump right in?
I think we should. We talked about your puppy. Dude, I just want to hug your puppy. I'm so sorry. I just want to hug it.
He is definitely huggable.
Yeah. All right, man. You want to kick us off?
Fuck, sorry. I had to turn off my fan. I
Whatever.
tripped over my fucking
Who cares?
headphone cord.
Let's fucking run it.
All right, bet. So Jidenna. Jidenna is a 35-year-old rapper. He grew up partially in Nigeria up until he was 6 years old, and his father was a professor there. And then they moved back to the United States and lived in various places. And his backstory is actually really interesting, especially when he gets into college, because I don't know if you read about this, but he graduated from Stanford.
Did he really?
Yes, he did. Which is such a flex because, I mean, it's the hardest school to get into in the country. He studied comparative studies in race and ethnicity, which is really cool.
Comparative studies and okay.
Yeah, and I know that he was doing music on the side and stuff. He produces a lot of his own music. I know.
That's something I noticed for sure too.
Yeah, he's a very smart guy. He was also a teacher for a bit, I read. And I don't know if you heard, but on one of the songs on The Chief, Long Live the Chief, he says, really, I met nobody smarter. That's why I got admitted, but I still rejected Harvard, which is another incredible flex.
Yeah. I don't remember catching that line, but I feel that's something I feel like he would say.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy. But yeah, how should we go about this? What was the first thing that you listened to?
I listened to The Chief, and I just started from the top, and started on a bull's tail. And honestly, like I liked it. I like this character he developed with, what was it, Palm? The guy that talks in the beginning of A Bull's Tale. He had a name.
Oh yeah. Shoot, I forgot whose name it was.
It was let me see. I can look it up. But I really liked how he kind of had this like character that was developing and like talking to him through like this whole project. And he was always there. I think his name was Palm Wine. I think it was Palm Wine. Yeah. And actually, Palm Wine is played. That character, he's played by a comedian by the name of Chief Obi. So like that's what I found out, and he's a Nigerian American comedian. He plays Uncle Palm Wine, and it's crazy because that's how it starts off. Like that's what starts off in A Bull's Tale, I think. and you get this little narrative, and he's like walking him through it, trying to like talk. Or I think it was in a Chieftain run. I don't know, one of the two. But
Yeah, no, I think it's in both of those, but Bull's Tale I think is a really strong opening to that project, like just introducing him as Jidenna, you know.
Mm-hmm. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was just gonna say the first song of his that I ever heard was "Classic Man," as it probably was for most people because that thing was all over the radio.
I honestly didn't even know it was him. I thought it was just like Kendrick, but I know that was like the remix he made, right?
Bro, that remix is so hard.
Yeah, I thought it was just Kendrick's song, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, Kendrick has "Classic Man." I didn't know it was Jidenna.
Nah, yeah, and apparently, I heard this in an interview that Jidenna was talking about "Long Live the Chief," the song, and Kendrick actually called him up and was like, "This shit's hard, like I really like this," and then he was like, "I want to hop on the Classic Man remix," and it happened, and that thing was fire.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
One thing I did like though about this project, or was I like the beats. Like, I've talked about my, not like my criteria, but how an album should be laid out.
Yeah.
And your first song gets you hooked. Your second song, you're like, okay, I fuck with this. Your third song, you're still with it, and the fourth song hits it home for you. And definitely, like that's how I felt about this project. It was very fluid. And
yeah, it really was. It was very cohesive as a project, and the production was crazy. I mean, the production on both of his albums are crazy.
I felt like in this first project though, like I felt like his vocals kind of get lost. Like
yeah,
they
I can
get
see
lost
that.
in parts. It sounds very airy. There's no like depth to his voice, which I mean, I don't know if it was like the headphones. I don't know if it was my AirPods. But I kind of wish I had more. His voice had more presence. That was like my only side from the production side of it. I wish there was more presence of his voice, but I mean, he's a talented guy. He can sing for sure. He can also spit bar. I wouldn't say he's a lyrical genius, but there's some shit where like he'll say something, you're like, fuck it, I agree.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Or you're just like, I never thought to look at it like that, or like you kind of be like, oh shit, he actually said it.
Yeah, he's very versatile. He can do a lot of stuff, and I think this project is like a very good introduction to like him, because it shows kind of what he can do. Because you got tracks like Trampoline and Bambi.
Dude, honestly, fucking, I loved them both.
Saying those songs, I'd say like the first like 7 songs are just like playlist songs. Like I'd add all those songs to my playlist.
Yeah. And it like he's a versatile kind of guy. Like he sticks to like a little bit of like that hip hop R&B genre, but also he can take it. He like incorporates that with like that reggae vibe in Bambi, and like you have that just like fucking, you just feel good. You feel happy. Like it just feels great to listen to Bambi at least, and then he also has like his Nigerian, like all that like African kind of like music in there too. Like it's really cool to listen to it, and you wouldn't think those songs fit with a song like Trampoline or what was it, Chief Don't Run. Like you wouldn't think those songs fit, but they do. As a project, it's just really great.
Yeah, he goes all over the place, but not in like a distracting way. Like it feels it's fun and engaging to listen to. And this album, it shows how prideful he is, like about his heritage. And yeah, there's just so many bangers on this project. Like I think my favorite song, at least the one that I've known the longest, is "Long Live the Chief," because a funny story about that song. I guess it's not that weird of a story, but I heard it in I don't know if you ever watched the show Luke Cage.
I did hear. I read that when I was looking at that song. I heard about that. Go ahead, talk about it.
But I'm like a huge like Marvel nerd, and so I was watching that show, and I think it was like episode like it was like midway through the show or something, and there was this scene like, so the main antagonist of the show, he has like a club, and he has musicians perform there, and Jidenna was there in one of the episodes in the sequence, and he performed that song in its entirety. Like, it wasn't cut up or anything, and it was really dope because there was kind of like some montage stuff going on, but then you were also just looking at the antagonist watching like Jidenna perform this song, and it was pretty dope.
I might have to check that out.
It was a really
just
cool
to see
scene.
the performance.
Yeah, because he's wearing his suit, you know, like his classic man.
Yeah, I did read about that though, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. In my mind, I was like, honestly, like, I was just not a huge fan of like the Marvel shows, you know, like I just felt like they kind of dragged on too much, and I don't know. I felt like the dialogue wasn't that good. Honestly, that's just me. Like,
yeah, I mean, I disagree, but
I don't know. I could never get into any of those Marvel shows. I just was not a fan of them.
To each his own.
Yeah. I feel like it's good if you get like the backstory of like other, you know, you get little like Easter eggs and shit. Like, that's cool, but like, I don't know, just wasn't big on it. Anyways, the one song on this album though that threw me off, and I just was like, really, you have a lot more potential than this, was Some Kind of Way.
Yeah, same actually. That's like the one song I didn't like. I'm not even kidding. Like, that was the song.
But the thing is, it's like in a different project, it could work and it could be cool.
Yeah, but it's just like kind of out of place here, I feel like, and not in the same way that the other different songs are, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like, this was a 2017 project, but this song felt like it was straight out of like 2012 or whatever, whenever Kesha was big.
Yeah, I know. It did feel like that.
Like, that's on. Did Kesha sing Timber or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it sounded like one of those kind of vibes, like some David Guetta type of shit, and like I just wasn't with it, and I was like, "Come on, Jidenna."
Yeah, it kind of felt like his attempt at a filler track, like a mainstream radio filler track, but it's not like it was in the wrong time period. I agree. Like, it just didn't really work.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like another producer like Marshmello could have pulled that off. You know, like if you get that from Marshmello, you're cool with that. But like out of Jidenna, you're like, what the heck? Like, dude.
Yeah. And that song, it kind of makes the project feel a little long if you're just listening to it all, especially near the end, because all the songs are really long, and the last like 5 songs of the album are pretty long. But there is track 13. It's called White N-Words. Is a really genius song. I don't know if you paid super close attention to it.
I did pay close attention to it.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say was basically with that song, he's doing essentially a role reversal with white and black people in America. It's really kind of interesting to listen to, because it's like, I haven't ever heard that before, you know, like I haven't heard people actually like push that narrative into a song, and the first verse was interesting because he was talking about like all these terrible things that these quote white people are going through, aka black people in real life, and then the verse ends, it says, as all the blacks just walk past with their yoga mats eating their kale, like all is well in the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And I thought that was funny. It comes after talking like that harsh reality in that verse.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to it and reading the lyrics at the same time, and I felt like, I don't know, I was just like, I thought what he was saying, it was just kind of like ironic, but it was also like eye-opening too, you know?
Yeah, it was.
And it's like, imagine if the roles were switched, you know? Imagine
exactly.
Imagine if society had flipped like that one day, and like, how would you feel? Like, you know, it just makes you think about it a little bit more. And then, I mean, it's kind of relevant to what's going on now.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is 2017. We're now in 2020. So it's like, you know, these problems were still occurring then. It's not like a new thing. These are continuing
hundreds
problems.
of years.
Yeah.
But yeah, that song I really like, just because it does make you think. It's kind of, especially if you're white, you know, like you're kind of like, oh damn.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I'm not white, so.
Yeah, I know.
I was just like, hey, you know. That's what also like is weird about me too, because like there's all these things going on, and it's like I'm not white, and I'm not black either, so it's like,
Yeah, no.
you know. But I mean, it's still like,
guess,
yeah. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. Let's just keep talking about Jidenna.
But I just, one last thing for that song. I think it's, I actually just forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind.
No worries. On a more upbeat note, I liked Adora.
Adora's cool.
And it's cool because like he says like Adora, I adore her, you know, and it's like, or I adore ya, and it's like it's crazy because like I mean he for sure made up the name, you know, I think, or it could be a real person, I don't know, but like
maybe
the play on the word or the words I adore ya and then turning that into Adora, you know, it's just it was great.
I mean, maybe it is a name. It's spelled interestingly.
I actually really, really like it. Like, on a real note, I like the way it looks. But, like, and I thought I was like, dude, like, what if I name my kid that? But then I was like, nah, like, Adora. Like, I don't like the word Dora because I know who Dora is, you know? And I don't want her getting teased for that crap because, like...
Ain't nobody going to be watching Dora in, like, 2030.
Dude, you don't know that, man. You don't know that.
I guess not. I'm
just saying, I just don't want her getting teased and shit. So I was like, that sucks. But I liked it, and it reminded me of Smino's song Anita.
I haven't heard that.
Basically, like in the beginning, he says like he's saying like, I need her, and then it's like Anita. Like the way he's singing it. It's I need her, Anita. It's like it's really good. You should take a listen. It follows the same vibe.
There's a lot of songs that play on like names and then like incorporate them into the lyrics. I don't know if you've heard the song Drew Barrymore by Bryce Vine.
I think so.
Where he's like, "You're the next Drew Barry, and I want more."
Yeah, yeah. But like that's just smart, you know.
It is. It's funny. It's cool though.
It's good. But yeah, I thought this project as a whole was pretty good. I mean, I liked it. Like I said, I wish his vocals were coming out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, oh, never mind. I was about to talk about something that was on 85 to Africa, but we're not there yet.
No,
Did you have anything else to say about it?
Not really. It's a really good intro project, like I've already said, and like it has a lot of really great songs on there that have like high replay value, and I think that's the point of this album. You know, it really established him.
Yeah. I do like the fact that he does produce a lot of his own songs too.
Yeah.
He's not just having all these random producers that pump out beats for him. He's like, I like that one. You know,
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that.
There's not anything wrong with that. No, I mean, at that point, like, you've made it, you know. But it's like, I feel like it's cool because he still puts in the work, like, that side of that work, and is able to, you know, release some. It makes you appreciate the music more because you're like, okay, like, his thought process, his creativity, his artistry went into this a little bit more than just being able to write lyrics down.
Yeah, no, exactly. Being able to produce your own beats it's a big thing. It's just so time consuming.
Oh, dude, it is.
You know,
I'm working on that remix right now, and it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, because I've been in more of a beat making phase this quarantine, and like I've only written a few songs, and it's like kind of annoying. Like because I don't like it as much as I do like writing songs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I like it when I have like a completed beat, and then I'm like, oh, I can write to this. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough, but Saint Beauty, honestly, like, or on Safari, and honestly, I like all the features he had, like, as background vocals. Like, it was really nice.
Yeah, he's good with choosing that. He does that on 85 to Africa too.
Mm-hmm. Everything was pretty nice. Everything was well put together. I mean, there's a few songs that stand out, or like you're like, dude, you don't belong in this album. I just felt like this album was very long too, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like I didn't need some songs to be 6 minutes, 5 minutes. Like there's 2 5-minute songs, a 6 minute, and it's like kind of gets annoying.
Yeah. It's
and then
long.
and then there's 2 points which I wish was one, like it's only a minute and a half. And I was like, dude, I wish there was more.
I don't know. That song's a banger. I like that song.
It just ends too fast and like it made me upset.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
Trampoline didn't need to go on as long as it did.
It didn't, but I like Trampoline.
I like it
it's
too.
a fun song.
It's cool because like I feel weird about it. Like I wish it was just shorter because, my time's precious to me sometimes. But it's also like, bro, that's 5 minutes of my day. I can at least jam a little bit. Like I'm not gonna be upset in those 5 minutes, but it's also like, I don't know. I don't know.
I will say, for the listeners, I went to a Jidenna concert last year, and when Trampoline did come on, it got the place bouncing up and down like a trampoline.
Okay. Yeah. On that note, should we move on?
I had to say that. I had to.
Oh gosh, I'm like cringing in my chair, Clarke.
I know.
I
thought that was. I thought it was necessary though.
But did you have to say?
Hey, he said it in the song. Okay,
I know,
make that
but
up.
like we understand what he's talking about.
Like, I don't give a fuck. It's cringe, but it's funny.
Oh,
it's funny because it's cringe. It's not funny because it's funny.
All right, 85 to Africa.
All right, 85 to Africa. That was the album that I went on the tour for. So, well, I didn't like go on the tour. You know what I mean? But I really like this project. I'm just gonna say that. The title refers to a highway in Atlanta, the I-85, which goes to an airport that will take you directly to Africa and get a direct flight, which is cool. And I found this interview where he's talking about kind of the inspiration for the album, and I wanted to play a clip of that. So here's this.
Fast forward, now we're talking 85 to Africa, right?
Yep.
We're talking Zodi.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking Tribe,
Susu.
Susu.
I've been doing a blitzkrieg because I've been gone for 2 years,
right?
And in that time I made so much music. I started the music in Atlanta,
okay,
and then I moved to Southern Africa. I went through West Africa, East Africa, but mostly based in Southern Africa.
You was living out there?
Yeah, I lived there.
So
I did the whole Dave Chappelle.
Right. Now, what was the cause of this? Just wanted to see Africa?
Nah, we released a trailer that told the real true story, which was to start the album 2. We rented one of those Atlanta rapper mansions.
Okay.
We was like, all right, we're gonna live comfortable, make an album, put it out. The owner of it, while we were there under the lease, we were paying the lease, but the owner wasn't paying the mortgage.
Right.
So he foreclosed. We didn't know.
Wow.
So we got evicted one day. Boom, everything on the front lawn, hard drives, everything.
Nah.
And when we left, I had to go on tour.
Right.
So I did a tour. The tour was a U.S. tour. Then we went to West Africa. Then we went to Southern Africa. And after that, I was like, yo, I got no place to go back to, so let me just stay out here. And the vibe there was amazing.
Amazing.
I was like, I'm good.
But I could hear the influence and all the new tunes.
Yeah. It's like, and this is the sprinkles of it too, because I got a lot more.
You got a lot more.
I'm all the way deeper in it.
Wait.
But you got to understand, Trump was like president for a year.
Right.
I was like, I don't even want to go back there.
Yeah, you over there good with your people.
I'm good.
You good.
Yeah, so that's kind of the story of 85 to Africa. I came back here and finished it.
And so now that you know a little bit about the background, I feel like we can get into it a little bit better, because I feel like this project is even more focused than the Chief. It's shorter. It feels shorter. It's a quicker listen, at least to me. What do you feel like?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it better, I think, on the production side of it. Just the quality of his vocals in this album was way better.
Yeah, they're way up in the front this time.
Yeah, they're way in the front. You can actually hear, the frequencies you want to hear in his vocals.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really what made the project to me. I feel like if his vocals sounded the same like they did in his previous album, I don't think I would have liked it at all. But I did like his voice in this one, and then the beats are hard, dude.
They are. They're fire. And I
then-
like how it's kind of like the album's kind of like in two parts, because like it starts out, I'd say like the first 5 songs are very hard, like trap inspired songs, and then the next half of it's very sticking to his roots, his heritage, and bringing out these really interesting songs where he's singing in these.
Well, going
cool
back to
ways.
that interview, that we just listened to, he talks about why he named it 85 to Africa and the whole concept behind it. And he went to Africa. Remember, like they got kicked out of their rapper mansion. I think that's what he called it. Yeah, he got kicked out of there, and then I think he just said they went to Africa, and he got so inspired there. He stayed there for a bit, and then he came back and finished this project.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the time he spent in Africa inspired him and was really his inspiration, like for the last half of this album.
Yeah, definitely.
But honestly, like I wasn't opposed to it. I
No, it was
didn't
really
hate
cool.
it. I was just like, this is very different to hear. And I feel like it really develops him as an artist, to be able to have that kind of freedom when people expect you to be making music that they've already heard, and like they just like, oh, they're just gonna pump out more stuff like this, and that's just what they're into. And I feel like he takes like these brave like ventures and actually makes it work, unlike people we've already talked about.
Yeah.
Like when Rex tries to rap, like Rex Orange County, like, dude, leave that crap behind.
Bro, my sister got mad at me about that. She's like, I disagree.
Bro,
And I was
well,
like,
she can come on the pod and she can debate us, but she's still wrong.
she's wrong in my opinion. My humble opinion.
Yeah, I mean, like you always say, to each their own, right? So,
Anyways,
anyways.
this album is vibe heavy. Like listening to songs like Vaporize It, like it's so calming,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that it's a album to get you hyped all the time.
Maybe the first few songs.
The first few you can get hyped to, but I feel like once you get down to like Susu, you're not really getting hyped anymore. You're just like taking a nice drive and stuff.
Yeah, you're just kind of grooving, like
Sufi
like,
Woman.
Sufi Woman, Zodi. I mean, these songs are just the energy. It's so different than anything you'll hear,
Yeah, it's
kind of hard to
very.
explain.
It has a lot of those like African like music kind of vibes.
Yeah, and it's cool too because he features Nigerian musicians on like a few of the tracks, like Worth the Wait and Zodi and the other half, which is really cool. I think that he's just that inspiration, it's there. And that first song, Worth the Wait, I think that's my favorite one on the album because it's such a good opener because it's like he's stressing the idea that differences should be celebrated, and it's what like gives us power, and as people we need to focus on how that unites us, and at the end there's that line where it says the only thing that unites Black people globally is that we are from Africa, and I think that's a good kind of summary for that concept for this album.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that, dude. But I honestly, like, I did like Worth the Wait. And for me, I felt like, okay, like, the production quality went way up for sure. I didn't think his bars were any different. I didn't think he really, developed into the lyrical genius we were like, well, okay, what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I do.
I
mean, he talks about like everything he says, like it's stuff that matters. He doesn't really have like much filler bars, like
his subject matter is good. He gets to the point. He doesn't try to bounce around it, I just think his flow could have gotten better too.
like on what songs?
at least like I think it was like 85 to Africa. I don't know. He just gets very repetitive with his flow. Like he'll keep it on for like 8 bars or something, and then you have one bar that flips it. And I mean, it's cool, but like for me, I don't know. I think I'm more like I like it when like I can get amazed that you fit so many words and like it just worked. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I get you. Yeah. I mean, it's not for everyone, but I personally really like what he done on that song because it's very like, I don't know, the beat's really busy. I feel like if he were to go crazy on it, it wouldn't sound very good. You know what I mean? Because every other bar you have the da-da-da sound that's like really loud in the beat, and then that hard hitting 808. I don't know. I kind of like how it's simplistic, but like he changes up the like not necessarily his flow, but like his energy as the verse goes on. You know what I mean? I like it, but
one thing I noticed too is like sometimes when he sings, his singing voice is so much different than his rapping voice. Like when he sings, he has kind of like an accent or something.
yeah,
I don't know if that's like purposeful or that's just how he does it and that's how he sings. But it's very like stylistic and it's very unique.
he manipulates his voice very well because when you guys heard the interview clip, I mean his talking voice sounds so much different than his singing voice and his rapping voice. Like it's not really what you would expect. Like it's really deep. It's like his talking voices. I mean, it's not really like that on the music. It is cool. People say that about my voice. Like a lot of people don't even like think it's me.
Yeah,
So.
that's been so many times. Like you've met like some of my friends, and I'm like, you want to hear something? Like you want to hear a really hard bar? And they're like, yeah, sure. So I play them a little clip of like my favorite bar, and they're like, who is that? And I was like, that's Clarke. They're like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, that's him. And they're like, no.
No, yeah. People don't think because I be saying cringy stuff like what I said a few minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, no way.
No way, that's Clarke. You know.
No,
But no, I mean it's really cool, man. To like be able to like, you know, not to say that you're a different person, not to say that you're two people, but just like the fact that you can flip a switch and become lyrically talented, you know.
Are you talking about
like,
me or him?
I'm talking about you right now, not Jidenna. I mean like whatever, you know, because like I don't know, like we saw the interview with Jidenna and like, you know, he seems like out there, whatever, fun. But then like, you know, when we talk and we try to like do things, like you're not the most like, yeah, fuck it, let's send it tonight. You're just like, I got work. You know, like you're very like chill. You're a chill dude. And then when you get on the mic, you just become somebody else, and that's just really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, when it becomes a form of expression, you don't. At least for me, I don't necessarily feel the need to be super out there when I'm just like not performing, you know, like because I don't know, I feel like I can get everything I need to across when I'm making music, but just as myself, I stay in my own head a lot. I think a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyways, back to Jidenna.
The closing track to this, I kind of appreciated the 7-minute long track.
Yeah,
I know I
hated
on the longer tracks in the first one, in the first project, The Chief, but like I like this one.
It's because of that fire outro
with Mariba, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got goosebumps. I'm thinking about it. I got the goosebumps. Oh, okay.
Bro, that outro is fire, and it's the outro of the album too. It's like such a good closer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not only the outro of the song, but like the whole album, and that's why it was great. Like you said, like it was like such a perfect way to end it. And it's weird because like you would think he would want to end his own album, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Like so a lot of people would want to end what they started, but he was like, I'm gonna take like 2 verses here, and then I'm gonna let my girl Mariba finish it off, you know? And it's just like,
exactly.
That just shows a level of respect too. Like it's just like, I don't know, to let someone else finish your project because you know everything else you did was just so great too. You know? And then especially putting this one at the end, like your last one, like you know it's good, and it's gonna be what people remember the most too. If they haven't, if they
Definitely.
keep listening, they're gonna remember that one. And that's why it's so
Yeah.
important to place your songs in order, it's important. Like
Order is important. Yeah.
it's so important. You can't
It's
just
so
throw it all
important.
there and say, yeah, that's how it landed. No, dude, it's
Unless it's a
important.
mixtape, but that's different.
Mixtapes,
I mean,
yeah.
if it's an
Mixtapes are
album,
more fun. They're less stressful. They're very like lenient. You can do whatever the hell you want.
pretty much, yeah.
Can we talk about the last verse on Worth the Wait? I don't know if you want to go listen to it though, but go to minute 3
Okay, hold up.
if you can somehow listen to it right now.
I can. A minute 3.
Yeah, I don't care if it comes through the mic. Just like, if you can listen to it at minute 3, it low key sounds. It sounds like Kendrick's Humble.
In the. Oh yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Oh, is that when the beat comes in though?
Hey.
I don't just go for the metal, yo.
Yeah,
this
like
is,
that's literally Humble right there. And I felt like I don't know if like Kendrick was like taking that from him. I don't think he was. He could have been, but like I
Humble
don't know.
came out before this album.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
came
this
out
was
in-
2019. I totally wait. You're
Yeah,
right.
damn.
Humble
came out
was
in like
20.
2017, 16, 17.
So maybe he took this from Kendrick. Maybe that was a little like, "What's up, Kendrick?"
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't have
It's
the.
it's a stretch. It's a stretch.
Yeah, it's a little. I don't know.
It's a stretch, but I feel like if you lined it up with Humble, you could it follows like the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought when I heard that, I was like, "What the hell?" And it was weird because I was reading the lyrics at the same time, and as I was reading ahead, I was like, "This is gonna sound like Kendrick, 100%." I'm looking at it, and then he started doing it. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But
Yeah, I can see why you would say that, but
Yeah.
it's still hard. That opening bar, I go for the records. I don't just go for the medals, bro. It's fire. It's fire.
yeah. But I think that's all I have to say about Jidenna. I mean, here's my final thoughts on him. I appreciate like the simplicity, of his bars. He's not trying to get too crazy with you. He's not trying to like be all philosophical. He's just like telling it how it is. And he's not beating around the bush. He's straight up with you. He's worth a listen for sure. He's talented. He's versatile. And like I'm excited to see like where he goes from here.
Yeah, I mean, he knows his strengths and he plays to them. Like, because he keeps his performances so simplistic and interesting, the production can thrive and be just all over the place in such a cool way, I feel like. And the beats in his music, like, I feel like it's one of the best parts, just hearing how he just kind of flows on it. But yeah, I've been a fan for a while. I definitely would recommend, and I think people got to check him out.
100%. 100%. Here's what I think though, because I'm running out of space on my my track, but I think we need to hit something big for next week.
Really?
I feel like we should hit something big. Maybe not a whole discography, maybe like the early years. We'll break it up into sections. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We could
Yeah.
do part 1, part 2, part 3, or we do that idea we talked about like the other day.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we could do that. I don't know. Just an idea. I thought we could talk about that like, right here at the end and get people hyped like, "Oh, what's going to happen next week?"
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess you just got to like tune in and find out. Might as well, You got
Yes.
anything else to say, my guy?
Not really. This was fun. I love Jidenna. But yeah. I guess we'll see you guys next week. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, I'm Clarke.
Oh, change it up on me. I'm Adrian.
Peace.
Later.